Hey guys, Movie Junkie for Life here again, and unfortunately I didn't get to see as many movies as I wanted to see this week. I was trying to catch up on some stuff, but I did see the one that everybody's probably going to be checking out this Easter weekend, and that is Fast and Furious 8, aka The Fate of the Furious. Directed by F. Gary Gray and starring basically everybody from the franchise, with the exception, of course, of Paul Walker, may he rest in peace. Fate of the Furious tells a story of Dom being forced to do evil things for a woman named Cypher, played by Charlize Theron. She has something on him, something big. Of course, that's the only thing that would make Dom turn on his family. And he betrays them. They don't really know what's going on, but they're forced to join alliances with people like Jason Statham, who played the bad guy in the previous movie, to catch him and to figure out what the hell is Dom doing. So let's get into it. And I'll start with what I liked. Now, the Fast and Furious franchise, I always commend them on the fact that they've managed to do something I don't think any other franchise, with the exception of Harry Potter, has been able to do, and that is remain popular. They consistently have managed to keep their fan base, add to their fan base even, and are always successful. And the reason for this is it's ridiculous in the best way I can mean that word could be. Um, the series has always been over the top stunts that are just physically, on when I say physically, laws of physics, not possible for anybody to survive, but somehow they always manage to survive. It's just ridiculous in all the fun ways of the movies that we grew up watching, maybe in the 80s and the 90s. You know, it's over the top action like Die Hard and these types of films, and we don't care because it's fun, and it's you can switch off your brain and just enjoy what you're seeing. And that's when this series and this film is most successful. It's when it focuses on the action, on the driving, on the stunt work. That's when you're really enjoying this movie. That's when you're grinning like an idiot and shaking your head because you know what you're seeing is just stupid, but it's fun stupid. And Fate of the Furious does manage to top a lot of the stuff they've done before. You can see a lot of it in the trailer. They go up against a submarine, they're driving on ice. Charlize Theron's character Cypher hacks a bunch of cars, and like hundreds of cars are dropping into the road on our team, and yet somehow you manage to just grin along and enjoy it. That is when this movie is at the strongest. I also really enjoyed the relationship between Jason Statham's character. I can't remember I know the last name is Shaw. I can't remember the first name. And The Rock's character. Their banter to me was the best in the movie, because of course they are playing two enemies who come together and they're constantly threatening each other like a wrestling match, throwing talks at each other back and forth. And it's really funny. It never gets ridiculous. Well, it never gets annoying, I should say. And Jason Statham's character, who knew you could forget that he was such a murdering bastard in the previous one? They managed to make him quite likable. But Jason himself is a really likable guy and a very believable action hero. So it was really, really fun to watch him do his thing here. I adore the guy, and I was glad that they made him a solid addition to the franchise. At least that's what they seem to be doing. Um, Another thing I enjoyed was Charlize Theron as the bad guy. She's very Bond villain kind of bad guy in this. She doesn't have a lot to do, but what she does really well. And I will say this, she is the most menacing villain they have gone up against in the entire franchise. You know, while all the others were very cookie cutter, very one dimensional, there's something about her here. It's almost like she's like a predator. She's like an animal. There's a scene where they have her, the backdrop is reptilian, and I noticed that because she's very cold and calculating. She does not care about anybody or anything except her goal, and it makes her very terrifying. I mean, anybody who could get Dom by the short and curlies, you know, they are gonna be very, very intimidating, and she does a good job here. I like her in this role a lot. And that's gonna be it for all the stuff that I like, because we're gonna get into some stuff that I wasn't so big on. First of all, Tyrese. Now, Terry's character, he is this kind of one-liner type guy. It's always been his thing since Fast and the Furious 2, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. And there's nothing wrong with that. But here, I don't know, it felt forced at times. Some of his deliveries felt really, really cheesy. Some worked. I mean, it worked a lot of the times, but there were times when I was just rolling my eyes. I just wanted him to stop. I felt like it was too much. There's a line where you go from being the funny guy to the annoying guy, and he really crossed that line for me a lot here. Thank God I had Jason and the Rock's banter to kind of nullify that. Because let's just say a little Tyrese goes a long way. Another issue I had was the pacing. I think the second or middle act lagged a bit, especially there was too much talking. I think this movie is not very strong when it gets into the talky moments. It's all about the action. That's what we came for. And when they they have those scenes where they're sitting around discussing what their next move is, discussing how to catch them, how to find them, I think that drags a bit, and that those scenes could have been shorter. So yeah, pacing was an issue for me. Just in the middle, the first and the final act is really good. What was my other thing? Oh, Charlize Theron doesn't drive. I don't get that. I really don't, because here's my biggest problem with that. I love The Italian Job, and F. Gary Gray is actually the director of that movie, the remake, not the original Italian Job with Michael Caine. I really, really like that movie because I love Mini Coopers, and they made them seem really fun in that movie. Charlize Theron is a known badass driver, in the sense she did all her own driving in that. It's even been said on the record she was the best driver among the group, and that's a group that included like Mark Wahlberg and stuff, and Edward Norton, right? So I was really hoping to see her drive here. We got to see Jason Statham do his thing in the last one. Even Luke Evans did his thing as the villain, Owen Shaw. Why isn't Charlize Theron driving in a movie that is about driving? That pissed me off. I didn't understand why they let an opportunity like that go by. But who knows, maybe it might come up again at some point. Helen Mirren as well, I felt was vastly underused. She's awesome in Red. She's awesome in everything. And I was hoping to get more of her. I get that maybe there's not much to do with her character, but it would have been nice to see her do a little bit more than just be who she was. I don't want to give it away because it's kind of it's a big spoiler thing, but I would have loved to see more of Helen Mirren. I would have loved to see more of Charlize Theron. I just felt like they were underused in their roles, and it could have been so much more. But who knows? The way the franchise goes, I think they already have 2 more films planned, and maybe we will get to see that in the next couple movies if these characters come back. So overall, guys, Fate of the Furious, or Fast and Furious Part 8, it's exactly what you probably want out of this franchise. If you're a fan of this franchise, you're a fan of this franchise. I don't see you going anywhere because the movie is quite enjoyable. The action set pieces are over the top. They're phenomenal. The cars are gorgeous. The group are, we're accustomed to them now. They are family, as Dom would say, and we love them all. This movie was a tad too predictable for me. I honestly knew where they were going every step of the way. I was never surprised. And again, maybe it's me wanting a little bit more out of a movie that was never meant to give you more. It is what it is. I love the franchise. I've enjoyed the franchise. 5 and 6 are still my favorite of this franchise. And I'm going to give Fast and Furious Part 8 a 6.5 out of 10. Like I said, I think if you love this franchise, this is not going to be the movie that disappoints you. It's fine. It's good for what it is. I don't think it's the strongest film in the franchise. It's definitely the darkest. There's some moments in this was like, whoa, it got really serious. But at the same time, it never fails to entertain, and that's what you go and see a movie like this for, to switch your brain off and just enjoy the nonsense that's in front of you. So Fast and Furious 8, aka The Fate of the Furious, gets a 6.5 out of 10. And that's gonna be it for me, guys. So till next time, bye bye.